it seems like it happens during election years. It happens during financial chaos years. It seems like it knows what it's doing. Again, it seems like it's has a hyper consciousness of what we're up to in the fiat world and is already gaming us, right?
Timothy Maxwell, one of the well-known American broadcasters, has sketched a picture of what could happen if inflation gets to its peak and there comes a fiat currency collapse. In the same interview, he has discussed that how Bitcoin can go to million of its worth replacing fiat currency. Maxwell speculated that in the coming next years Bitcoin will be more stable and gold will lose its price. Watch this interview till the end to know what could happen next. If you are not subscribed to our channel, make sure to hit the like and subscribe button.
So, if the inflation genie comes out of the bottle and suddenly fiat money is being dumped in gargantuan amounts and there's a mad rush for gold, we may have a problem sourcing gold because there's just not that much gold. There's about 160,000 tons above ground. I think 35,000 tons is already in central banks. 20,000 tons are held by women in India. So of the 100,000 tons remaining, you've got 30,000 tons or more in jewelry. And you work through the numbers and it's just, there's not that much around. It's hard. If you needed to buy 300 tons of gold, you're not really gonna find it, not at the current price, right? I mean, it could be like, okay, I'll sell you 300 tons of gold, but I'm gonna sell it to you $25,000 an ounce, right?
Yeah,
you can have all you want at 25,000.
Yeah.
So then there's gonna be like, well, what we need hard money. So I think that's where you're gonna see these central banks turn to Bitcoin and sovereign wealth funds. And they'll be like, well, this Bitcoin thing's been around now for 11, 12 years. It's 99.9% fail proof. And it's got everything we want in hard money. And so then you'll see countries start to accumulate gold and they'll start to mine Bitcoin, and they'll start to mine for Bitcoin as well. And then they'll start to subsidize the money they would be subsidizing the energy industry and subsidizing that in the Bitcoin mining space. And so then you have the game theory kicks in. So for example, Iran right now has something like 2% of global hash rate of Bitcoin. And what I understand, I haven't seen hard numbers, but that's what I understand to be the case.
Okay.
And so let's say suddenly, it comes out they've got 5% of the hash rate, and they're redirecting their energy business into Bitcoin mining. And so then, America says, wait a minute, this is like the Sputnik moment. Iran could potentially be the richest country in the world if they have a significant piece of Bitcoin and the price goes to $400,000 to compete with gold per coin. I mean, Iran would be the richest country in the world. No, we better stop this. So then they start to subsidize their mining. And so you have this game theory kick in, and these countries are now competitively mining. So what this does is it increases the hash rate. So the hash rate now is over 100 quintillion calculations per second in the Bitcoin mining space. That would increase, which means the security goes up, which means it's even harder money. Bitcoin is not only it's hard money, but it keeps getting harder every week, every month, because the hash rate keeps getting higher and higher and higher. So then with that higher security and higher hash rate, that means price goes up. So it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. So now you're chasing the Bitcoin up to 100,000, 200,000 a coin to get the hard money because all your fiat money is collapsing. Nothing is surviving. US dollar money is, collapsing. These reserve currencies last about 100 years. If you go back to Portugal and France, Spain and the Netherlands and Great Britain, and then America, they all took their turn having the world reserve currency, and it lasts about 100 years, and then they lose it. And it looks like the U.S. is on the path now of losing world reserve currency status. So there's going to be a lot of fiat money chaos. As always, there's going to be an attempt to reset everything against gold. And remember, central banks never went off the gold standard. Central banks have always settled their accounts with gold. That's how they do business. So this idea that we're off the gold standard is an illusion. We're not. Okay. We're central banks are still very much on a gold standard. So then they sit down like Bretton Woods agreement and they say, we've got to reset. The only way we can get rid of this debt and the global debt's now greater than global GDP. It's over 100 trillion.
Wow.
Okay. So
Yeah.
say we've got to reset this debt against gold, of course. So we got to bring gold up to 10,000 an ounce. In the meantime, by then, it's already going to, there will already be a race in the Bitcoin space.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how it kicks in. That's how it plays out. And again, I ask, it's in Bitcoin, part of the protocol is that every 4 years they have what's called the halving,
Yep.
where the emission schedules get cuts in half. And it seems like it happens during election years. It happens during financial chaos years. It seems like it knows what it's doing. Again, it seems like it has a hyper consciousness of what we're up to in the fiat world and is already gaming us, right?
Yeah.
So they had the halving. Now the hash rate goes up, price goes up, and with the 2008 global financial crisis, we're having part two because they never solved the 2008 crisis. They just flooded the system with more fiat and credit. They didn't solve anything. Now it's much worse. So now, but unlike then, there is Bitcoin now as an escape route. So that's how I see it played. It's that game theory element that's baked into the Bitcoin protocol, just played out on the sovereign level.